Think about that. How long did it take after 9/11 for everyone to go back to their shitty little lives, being racist, being sexist, bullying? How long did it take for everyone to go back to the way that they were living? Hey, welcome to the Gem Monroe Show. I am your host, Gem, the business alchemist. I'm here to teach you how to live the life of your dreams, how to create the business to support that life, and how to live in alignment, flow, happiness, joy, but also success, also the strategy, also the creative direction that you need in order to complete your business and your life. With my 16 years experience in the law of attraction, my 8 years owning my health and fitness business, 5 years as a yoga and meditation teacher, and my 18 years in sales, marketing, and business development, I am here to help you increase cash flow, execute your vision, live in that alignment and flow that we need, and give you your time back so that you can live the rich and enriched life of your dreams. So let's get into this episode. Hello. Welcome back. Well, kind of welcome back to me. I have been sick for the past 2 weeks. Got a cold, then got the COVID vaccine on top of the cold, then got sick because of that, and then had a bunch of side effects and everything, and it's just been a bit of a rough week or two. So wasn't able to jump on and obviously talk. And it's funny, actually, I don't know if you've had COVID or not, but with the vaccine, even one of the side effects was short-term memory loss, which was interesting. And so as I record this episode, I'm just going to warn you, I may have some short-term memory loss, so I might forget what I'm actually saying. It's really, really bizarre. But I was talking to a client this morning, and one of my business coaching clients, and, you know, she's feeling a lot of the same female tension in business as a lot of us have been feeling. A lot of females are burning other females and doing things that just seems crazy to me. And I really went deep with her, and I was like, you know, I don't want to just serve, you know, her and I and just keep this conversation and keep what knowledge I have, you know, in between us. So I was like, you know, let me do a podcast episode on what I told her, and let's get into this and talk about this. So yes, she had feelings of being left out and rejected, right? And so one thing with feeling left out, like as I was talking with her and coaching, and this is the great thing about my business coaching, by the way, is although I don't really take on life coaching clients, life coaching, when I say kind of, I'm very, very selective with who I do pure life coaching with. Very selective. I don't advertise life coaching extensively. That life coaching is a big, big, big deal. It is, you're bordering therapy, but you're not a therapist, so you've got to be very careful with the cases that you take on. That's why I'm very selective. But life coaching really does come into business coaching. It really does, because as a business owner and entrepreneur, stuff shows up. Bad behaviors, limiting beliefs, bad habits. It all shows up in our business. So that's where life coaching comes into it. You can't just focus on the business. You have to focus on yourself as well, right? Your business health is a direct reflection of your inner health, okay? Your inner self. So I do go into life coaching sometimes with my business clients. So we were obviously talking about how she felt rejected and left out of something in business with a whole bunch of females. And so that's fine. What I explained to her was, you know, let's talk this through, and, you know, what exactly happened, and yada, yada, yada. Now, what I want to elaborate on here is, if we don't have an insecurity from a deep wound or trauma from somewhere in our past, we usually blow past things without even having a second thought about them, okay? So without even thinking about it, if we don't have that trauma, then we aren't affected by somebody's behavior or action. Now, if somewhere in the past we were rejected from a group of girls, for instance. I'm going to use this as an example. So maybe it was on the playground or the schoolyard, depending on what country you're from, what you call it. If you're on the playground and you're 8 and you remember going up to a group of, cool girls or something and saying, hey, can I play with you? And imagine if, they all turned around and laughed at you, pushed you over into like the leaves or the bark or something, or a puddle even, and then started laughing. And then everyone else on the playground, all the kids around, started laughing and pointing at you as well. Is that not traumatic? Now, I literally don't know where that came from. That didn't happen to me, and it didn't happen to my client, but it's just an example. But that would be severely traumatic to an 8-year-old girl. Yeah, okay? That is going to cause a massive emotional response in the body and the nervous system, and your subconscious is going to hold on to that. Because remember, your subconscious is made up of 70% negative experiences. 70%, because negative emotions cause more havoc in the nervous system and disrupt the frequency more so than positive experiences. Okay? This is why we're all walking around with issues. This is why we all have insecurities. This is why we all F up in life. It's because of things that have happened to us in the past. They're embedded in there more so than any positive experience. Okay? The negative ones hurt more. You remember them, right? So they show up time and time and time again in your life. So what you need to do here, okay? So again, she felt left out, rejected, right? So something has happened deep down in her past that you then have to realize. So let's say someone leaves you out of something and you're 35, okay? Like as I am, and someone leaves me out and I'm 35. It's not my 35-year-old that feels rejected. It's my 8-year-old self on the playground that feels rejected. So you've got to look at it as if you're healing the 8-year-old self, not the 35-year-old self, okay? So I don't need to look at what I need right now to heal and get over this rejection. I need to heal the 8-year-old Gem to get over that rejection. Now, what does that... Now, again, this is all examples, by the way. This is like, I'm making this up, but I'm hoping that you're following along here, okay? But I'm really talking, I'm creating that story and that experience for you so that you can really feel it and get in it. But I'm just saying that this isn't accurate for me or my client. This is a totally made up story. So let's say that 8-year-old Gem, who got pushed over and everything and feels rejected, and then at 35, it shows up for her. What you need to do is not push those feelings aside, not sweep them under the rug, not bury them deep, okay? This is why as older we get, and if we don't deal with our crap from the past and we bury it and we bury it and bury it, it's going to come out. It's going to come out somehow. It's going to come out with self-sabotage. It's going to come out in your business, mistakes that you make. It's all going to come out later in life unless you deal with it. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be healed. And again, let's just remember, I am not a therapist. If something really, 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 really bad has happened, something super traumatic, you need to go to a therapist, okay? You have to. So that 8-year-old Gem, right? That's what the 35-year-old is feeling. It's the 8-year-old who is flaring up and remembering the trauma. So then you look at, what does that 8-year-old Gem need to feel better, to feel the opposite of rejection? What does she need? So for her, she felt rejected and unloved. She felt unsafe, okay? Of course, she felt embarrassed and all of those feelings, those emotions. But at deep, deep, deep down, rejection feels like you are unlovable. Rejection is, I am unloved. Okay? At the deepest root, at going down. And then at the deepest root, it all comes down to a lack of self-worth. Okay? I am not loved, therefore I am not worthy. I am not worthy of love. Okay? So that 8-year-old, what she needed, because what happened is she felt unloved. She felt rejected, which made her feel unloved, which made her feel unworthy. So what did she need back then to make her feel better? Okay? She needed to obviously tell somebody and speak up about it so that then she could heal. But imagine if she never did. So that would be rough, right? That's why she's holding on to it. But if, in that instance, she had a loving parent or a loving friend who came up and pushed over the mean girl who pushed 8-year-old Jem over in the puddle or the bark or the leaves or whatever, and said, do not ever do that to Jem again. She is my friend and I will protect her. And then that person helps you up, right? And gives you a hug and says, come on, we have so many other friends over on the other side of the playground. Or don't worry about them. They're just jealous because you're so awesome and amazing, right? So that's what she needed. And then she needed to go home and then tell her mum or dad or siblings or whatever. And then they would have given her a big hug and also told her that she was loved and and everything would be great. That may have not happened. If we're holding on to like a rejection or something, we didn't get that. We didn't get what we needed back when we were 8 in the playground on the puddle. Okay? We didn't get what I just said. But that's what we needed. So the 35-year-old Jem can then tell the 8-year-old Jem, oh honey, you know that they just did that because of their own ego and issues. They thought that they were the coolest things in the playground. They thought that they could treat people like that because they may not have learned or had loving parents to teach them other ways. So we can see why that girl pushed you and did that or rejected you. And what we can then do to her is send her love and compassion and forgiveness. What kind of person what kind of female or girl pushes another girl like that in the playground and then points and laughs or does whatever? What kind of girl must do that? So then you can turn around and show her compassion, love, and forgiveness, because the chances are she wasn't getting that at home. So poor her too, right? Poor her. See her as you. See her as a reflection. We are one, okay? So then when we can show love and compassion to somebody who's probably hurting, because let me tell you, hurt people, okay? Remember that. It's got nothing to do with you. So you send her love, kindness, compassion, forgiveness, because I think she needs it too. And then boom, you've just changed your state a little bit, right? You've just changed your vibration. I'm not saying you're healed by any means. Oh, no. But first we've released all of that energy of resentment and anger and confusion and rejection. We've released that when we've turned to love, compassion, and forgiveness to the other person who did it to us. When we forgive other people, we release ourselves. Okay? When we forgive other people, we release ourselves. I think we just got the title of the podcast. Honestly, sometimes I don't always know what I'm going to say or do or talk about or anything. I literally just let universe and spirit and intuition just kind of speak through me and out. Okay? So I don't always come in here with the title, but I think we just found it. Okay? So we forgive other people to release ourselves. All right. Now, then we turn and because we've changed our state and because we've now energetically shift over to love, where there cannot be fear in the same instance. Okay. We then can show ourselves that love because we're cultivating it. We're feeling it. We're in that energy. And so then we say, what do I need? I need to feel loved and I need to feel supported. Now, we can't go back in time and hug ourselves like a parent or anything. But what we can do is tell little Jem back then that she was loved. She is worthy. She is loved and she is worthy of all God, universe, spirit, love of infinity, right? Infinity. She is worthy. She did nothing wrong. Give her that mental hug. Honey, you did nothing wrong. You know why she did it. You are loved and you are protected and you are okay. You're amazing. You're amazing. There is an infinite amount of love out there. Infinite. Whatever you believe, God, universe, spirit, angels, guides, infinite amount of love. You are love. You are love. You're a being of light and love. And you're okay and you are safe. And you're amazing. You're amazing. You're an incredible human being. You are freaking amazing. Okay? And you are strong. And it's okay to feel the way that you feel. We know why you feel the way that you feel. We know why. We can see that. We know that that other girl, back then and now, is probably not very happy with themselves. Because hurt people hurt people. And that's okay. And we forgive them. We forgive them and we can see that we are them. We go through the same pain. We go through unhappiness. We are one. We are them. We are together. We are united. Separating from the people who hurt us, we separate from love. We separate from love. We don't have to be their friend, but we don't have to be fearful of them. We show those hurt people love and compassion. Guess what comes back? Guess what comes back? Maybe not love for you, but if you're just uber nice and you send love and compassion back to those people that hurt you, what do you think's going to happen? Oof. They're going to feel pretty damn crappy, right? About what they did. But it's not about payback or anything like that. It's not about that. It's just, you just send love and kindness and they'll realize it. They're just not awake. They're not awake like you. You're awake. You live awake. You live consciously. You know all this work. You know. And it's okay. All right? So once you've found out where that rejection came from and why it's showing up as a 35-year-old, you can also detach yourself from it, because the past is not our reality. The past it doesn't exist. The past is gone. It is long gone. It's not here. It doesn't exist. The past is on a different timeline. It's like, it's see you later. But we still allow it to affect our reality. We still allow it to affect our present moment. We still allow it to hurt us. And so then when we can see and travel back to the trauma, we can then start to detach from it, because we know that it's not us as 35-year-old Jem sitting here with a microphone. It's not her. It's not my reality. It's something that happened way back, whatever it is, right? So it's almost like you can put it on like on a table and look at it, because it's not your reality. It's not you. It's not who you are right now. It's not the present. It's something that we're letting affect our reality, but it's not happening now, right? So you can look at that pain and that incident. you can look at that incident and look at it from a 35-year-old sitting here looking at that table across at that 8-year-old Jem sitting on that table and going, oh my God, you poor thing, poor baby. What do you need? Do you need a hug? You need some crackers. Crackers? You need some candy? You know? And then you detach from it, and then you know that it's not the 35-year-old self, because you're a freaking badass, right? You're amazing. And I'm kind of talking to my client here as I'm talking. I'm like getting all fired up because she is freaking amazing. All right. So, and now that's a part of the healing process, and it's going to show up, and we have to do it all the damn time. We have to do it all the time. Me just telling you this, and then the next time, and you go look at that like mini trauma, and again, if it's like a big freaking trauma that comes up, please go see a therapist. Don't try to deal with it on your own. But if it's something smaller like that, then you can look at it, but I'm not going to tell you that you're going to be healed. It's just going to help you get to a better state of mind in the now. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about the emotional scale. The emotional scale, when you feel that rejection, like she did, over the weekend, when she felt that rejection, her emotional state lowered. Okay, it lowered. Now go and look at my blog and I talk about the frequency. I talk about frequency and vibration, and in there is the emotional frequency scale. Okay, and that's going to show you that when you are in that fear-based emotion, okay, that fear-based low vibrational energy, what that does is it obviously brings down, we start to contract, okay? We start to contract and we go in and we're low vibration, like, you know, the very lowest is shame at 20 hertz. 20 megahertz, 20 hertz? I don't think it's megahertz, but... And then obviously enlightenment, which is way at the very top, is like 700 to 1,000 hertz. So I'm talking like we come down here to the lower stages, or the lower, you know, the lower vibrations, and you're looking at shame, guilt, apathy is low vibration of 20, 30, 50. Okay, grief, fear, 75, 100. Then you've got desire. Desire is an interesting one, okay, because desire is very needy. All right, and it depends on what we talk about with desire, but desire from a traumatic reason why you're desiring something, not just that you desire a better outcome or that you just desire a better life, not like that. This is different. Now that's 125 hertz. Then you've got anger, which is 150, pride 175, courage 200. We're starting to creep up now, see? And then you're neutral, okay? So when you have courage, you still have fear, because in order to be courageous, fear must be present, right? So when you have courage, that's still fear-based, all right? But then you go into neutrality. Then you're in that boredom, you're neutral, you're like, I don't feel either way, okay? Then you go into willingness. I'm gonna pick myself back up. I'm gonna try, I'm gonna find my feet. Then you go into acceptance and reason, all right? You accept the way that things are. That's just the way it is. It's all right. It's all good. I accept that, okay? And then you go into love, 500, joy, 540, peace, 600. When you are totally peaceful, abundance is also up there as well, and gratitude, and then enlightenment is right at the top. Now, what people do here is when they're going into that rejection phase and something happens and all this trauma comes out and and we have to forgive in order to release ourselves, right? Okay, yes. We're down here in that grief, fear kind of arena. Now, the mistake that people make is, I need to get up to enlightenment. No, you don't go from grief and fear to enlightenment in an instant. You cannot. It doesn't work like that. All right? It doesn't work like that. What you want to do is, you're at grief and fear, get up to anger. Get out of that grief. Get a little angry. Those damn bitches. Like, how can they do that? Like, what is wrong with them? Why would they freaking... God, that annoys me. Anger is a better or a higher vibration than grief. So just focus on getting angry, but then don't stay there, right? This sounds bad. But what I'm saying is, go for a couple of emotions up the emotional scale, not get to the very top. You will get to the top, all right? But you'll just focus on getting closer. So from anger, then you can go to courage. You know what? It's okay. I'm going to show my face to them and I'm going to be fine. It's all right. I'll just keep going in my business. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and I can do this. It's, I've got this. Then you go into neutrality, which is that boredom. You're in that neutral state where I don't feel anything anymore. I'm bored of this thought. I'm bored of this conversation. I'm bored of this scenario, and I'm just kind of moving on with my life. What happened last weekend? I don't even really remember the details. Oh yeah, these bitches were just, whatever, but it is what it is. Then you go up to, then it is what it is. It's fine. That you're in acceptance then. Then we go up into that love, joy, peace, enlightenment, right? So you work your way up that scale in order to get back to your peaceful state, to your gratitude, to your abundance. So knowing that is going to help you greatly with recovering, because it's not about not ever feeling anything. It's about how quick the comeback is, right? How quick is the comeback? Oh, I mean, see, that's another good podcast title. Oh, I'm gonna have to sit with this one. I'm not quite sure which. I'm not quite sure which title to choose. It doesn't matter. Honestly, whoever needs to hear this will hear it, and I believe that whoever needs to hear this will find it and hear it. The universe will make it so. But it's how quick is the comeback, right? And how fast can we return to love? How fast can we get back to that peaceful state, that peaceful vibration? Because what we don't want is we don't want to linger down in shame and guilt for a week and then 2 weeks and then no. How fast can we get up? So in order to get back up the emotional scale, though, we have to detach from the emotion. Therefore, we have to go back to the trauma to find it so that we can protect and nurture the 5, 6-year-old, 8-year-old, right? All those things. So once we've gone back and we've detached and we know it's not our 35-year-old self dealing with this, right? And we've gone into that, I can forgive them so that I release myself. Not just forgive the 8-year-olds. I'm talking forgive the 35-year-olds too. The bitches that are doing this stuff to you. Forgive so that you release yourself. Because guess what? They don't know that you're suffering. They don't know that you're vibing way low down here in grief, 75 hertz. They are unfazed. You're not hurting them. You're only hurting yourself by staying in that grief. But in order to get out of that grief, you've got to forgive them so that you release yourself so that you can move up the emotional scale and you can return to love and peace and abundance. All right? So I hope that has given you an interesting tool to use if this is happening for you right now in this feminine energy that has gone to, I'm going to chop off anyone's head that gets in my way as I climb to the top. They're confused, just remember. They're very confused. That's not how you get to the top. This isn't everyone's in this race right now. Everyone has come out of this. This is the problem, okay? This is the problem with tragedies and with like global pandemics or global things. Like these tragedies, people actually, same thing with 9/11, exact same thing happened. When 9/11 happened, everyone rallied together. It didn't matter what sex, race, ethnicity, color, where you were from, what country you were from. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Everyone as a human race rallied together to support America, New Yorkers, okay? Everyone involved. Everyone was rallying together. My gosh, I was in New Zealand. Didn't even know what the World Trade Centers were. I'm not kidding you. I was 15 or 16 and mum called me and she was like, the World Trade Centers, planes have flown into the World Trade Center. I'm like, what is the World Trade Center and where is it? So excuse me for my ignorance way back then when I was 15 in New Zealand. I had no idea. And I watched that. I was glued to the TV. I didn't go to school. I was glued to that television. Glued to it. Hoping that everyone was okay. Hoping that America was, I knew it. America, we're here for you. Like getting all of that, getting in behind America and just feeling for everybody. Now, how long did it take for everyone to turn on each other? Think about that. How long did it take after 9/11 for everyone to go back to their shitty little lives, being racist, being sexist, bullying? How long did it take for everyone to go back to the way that they were living? It's the same damn thing that's happened with COVID. 2020, okay? Rallying together. We've got this. All of us. Not just the COVID pandemic. So much stuff happened in 2020. Oh my God. But what's happening now? Oh, everyone's just forgotten about it. We're just going to go back and everything's moving forward as the universe and life does, especially after after a complete standstill, because COVID made the world stand still. Okay, so after a complete standstill, what do you think happens? Not just a progressive rev up. Oh no. We're in a freaking Lamborghini and we've gone from 0 to 60 in what? A second? We have revved everything up because of desperation and fear. So, those females that are hurting you, if you're listening to this, I know that you are just a beautiful, everyone's a beautiful soul, but I know that you're not hurting anyone, right? You're not hurting anyone, right? Good. Hopefully you're doing the inner work, and hopefully that all of this is resonating, and hopefully you've listened to all of my podcasts. Show up for yourself first and make sure that you are not hurting anybody. Deal with your stuff. Get a therapist. Do the spiritual work. Go to church. Do what you need to do to ensure that you aren't going around getting on this Lamborghini or hopping in this Lamborghini and running everyone over. Don't get on it. Don't choose fear. Choose love. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Please do reach out to me. I love hearing from you guys. It's mostly actually direct messenger, Instagram. You guys reach out to me about my podcast. So thank you. And thank you so much for listening. If you do have any questions about any of my coaching or things that are coming up in my pipeline, please do email me, gem@gembodymind.com, or do reach out to me on Instagram at gem, GEM_Munro, MUNRO. I love you. I love you. Have a phenomenal week. You are amazing and you are loved.